Hello interwebs, I am Sebastian from InvestComics.com and this is FFFIC. You'll notice once again my curmudgeon of a co-host has buggered off. It was a light week, and even for him, he only reads like 5 books on the weeks when I read 100. So on a week when less than 100 came out, he still only read 5 books, but he's busy. Alright, so I'm going to dive through these and we'll see what we got. We got, up front, we got Liberator #2 from Black Mask, continuing the story of basically a couple people going all vigilante on animal testing facilities and stuff like that. And it's good. It's not great, but it's good, and it's got heart and a message. So there you go. I don't recommend necessarily burning places to the ground, but you know, the message, other than the whole massive destruction and potential life-threatening situations.
You say blue ocean.
Other than that, it's good. Captain Midnight #1 is awesome. All right, this is from Dark Horse. Captain Midnight #0 collected the Captain Midnight stories from Dark Horse Presents. This is just great. The art is who does the art on this? Fernando Dagnino. It's just awesome. The art is great. The story is good. You've got old school hero in modern day. You've got immortal Nazis, and you've got government stooges who, while they're not big fans of immortal Nazis, are also not big fans of anything they consider a threat to their status quo. So they're kind of fighting on both ends. But good stuff, good stuff. Fearless Defenders #07, 007. Look at that. Best issue yet. All right. Just not saying a lot because I haven't really liked 1 through 6. They've been okay, but they haven't been what I'm a big Cullen Bunn fan. That's what I read this for. And this was it. This is finally it. We've got a new status quo for Valkyrie that's a little more like Thor's old days, because we had a death, but we have a solution to that. We get Cleo, Dr. Strange's on and off girlfriend. This issue was really, really good. Collider #1 from Vertigo. Physics, really, really cool. There's a world that it's basically our world, but it has a special physics division because physics is breaking down, and we kind of have like interdimensional stuff going on. So there's a group, not like superheroes or even like S.H.I.E.L.D., more like the electric company. They go in when you've got problems like a local school gravity stops working and kids are floating around. So they call in this group that has to come in and they put in a generator to fix gravity, and stuff goes wrong. And it's really, really, really good. Very heady, but very easy to read, and gorgeous art. I'm not sure who's doing this. Robbie Rodriguez. All right. Also from Vertigo, The Wake. All right. It's Scott Snyder. It's #3 of 10. So good. Creepy Killer Mermaid. This is like it's like indie sci-fi movie, indie sci-fi horror movie in comic book form. Better than Sci-Fi Channel movie quality, but too cool and thought of a concept that it's not. There's too much substance for it to be like big budget blockbuster movie. This is the one where you go. This is like on that level of Pitch Black before they went and ruined it and turned it into Chronicles of Riddick. But the first one, when it was still awesome and as Trevian, this is on that level, and it's just good. Skyward #1. This is Jeremy Dale. He was self-publishing, but now he's gotten it through Action Lab, and I'm generally a fan of Action Lab, and I'm a big fan of Jeremy Dale.
He drew a Blue Beetle for me at MegaCon a couple years ago. It was really cool, and he even colored it in. Land Pets told him I was a nice guy. Yay!
But this is all, it's fantasy, and this is very much the beginning. We get the kid here is our hero, though you start to suspect that about halfway through, but through this you had his family, and then this is the series of events that's going to put him into his little heroic quest throughout throughout the rest of the series. It made me think. If you can go back to the days of yore, if you liked Telos, then you'll like this. Animal Man, Annual Number 2, so good. Just Animal Man, Jeff Lemire, Animal Man. In fact, there's even pages where I don't hate the new costume, which is new to me, because that's always been my only flaw with the Jeff Lemire Animal Man reboot for the New 52, is I don't like this costume. But in this issue, I had no problems with the costume. I still prefer the old one, the pre-New 52, the old 52, whatever. But this was so good. So just read Animal Man, buy trades, buy issues, buy something. Just read it and go, wow, that was really good. Adventures of Superman number 3, the non-continuity Superman. This was so good. This is Matt Kindt. Who wrote this? Yeah, Matt Kindt. First of this series is the first one to be a full issue story. Most of them have been like a couple of stories, but this one, really, really good. You've got Superman going across the universe doing. You've got Superman going across the universe doing his thing, and along the bottom of the page you've got a more battle of wits with Lex and Lois. Really, really good. What if A versus X, Palmiotti, X-Men versus Magneto? He's not a very nice guy in this. And then it ends with It ends with pretty much the destruction of everything, the return of a character, and basically only 2 characters left in the entire. And when I say Marvel Universe, I don't mean that just the heroes. I mean in the Marvel Universe. Is what it looks like, or at least on Earth. We'll go with that. But very good, very different than the original AVX. All right, we got X-Men number 3, the all-female lead X-Men. Brian Wood, Olivier Coykoff. So good, so good. It's just so good. I don't really have anything else to say. It's everybody gets a moment to shine. Characters that I'm unfamiliar with because I didn't read X-Men for a long time because I thought they were crap, but they recently pulled me back into the fold. So this character Bling has a moment to shine. There's Jubilee kind of sitting with the baby. Storm looking more. Oh, the art in this is so gorgeous. It's just so gorgeous. But yeah, you get Kitty, you get Pixie, you get Storm, you get Rogue, you get a little bit of everybody. There are a couple guys in there too. This guy, I don't know who he is. I like him, but I don't know who he is. They don't always use names, so if you haven't read X-Men in a handful of years, you just kind of jump in and roll with it. Uncanny X-Men. Bendis' X-books continue to be good. Dazzler, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., not having the easiest time being Dazzler, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., not getting the most respect from civilians, not getting the most respect from other mutants. But she does have a fan who's shoving her album in her face and asking if she can sign it. And Dazzler's like, why do you own that? Which made me laugh. Guardians of the Galaxy is good even with the insertion of Angela. But they made it work. They tied it in really well with, they've broken the timeline, they've torn apart the fabric of reality, and now pretty much anything can happen. In fact, with this reality torn thing, I'm thinking, what the hell? Keep Superior Spider-Man and bring me back a Peter Parker Spider-Man. We can have them both and have them fight and have their own separate books and blah, 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 blah. Because reality's torn to shreds. And, Earth gets judged by a big, well, to me he's pink, but to the rest of you he's purple, by a big purple alien who's famous for grinning like a fool at the end of Avengers movies. And yeah, he's like, look, it's like they gave him a Destroy Earth free card. He's like, look, you broke reality. So now if I destroy you, I'm not even the bad guy. And that's a rough moment. Superman Annual number 2. I really wanted to have something nice to say. Dan Jurgens draws it, and Dan Jurgens can always draw Superman. They may have killed Lois. I don't know, but at this point, I don't care. Thank you, Scott Lobdell, for killing the Superman books for me. Grant Morrison's Batman. This is the one he predicted everybody was going to hate. I don't hate it. It leaves a lot of potential. At first, I wasn't on board because it really seemed like they went back 8 steps on the whole, the whole idea that Commissioner Gordon clearly suspects that Bruce is Batman, or may know that Bruce is Batman, but never lets on. At first, it seemed like this jumped 8 steps back, and there was no room for him to even suspect. But by the end, you're back to the does he or doesn't he know kind of questioning. It wraps up the Leviathan story probably better than it ever should have been wrapped up. And you get some Ra's, you get some bats, and there's if you don't like spoilers, or if you care, just skip for a second. But Ra's al Ghul has a whole room full of little cloned baby Damians. And it ends with Sons of Batman, rise. Rise. So, yeah, we could get a Damian. We could get bad guy Damians, good guy Damians, innocent civilian Damian. He could just, hell, if I were him, I would just make Damians and just have them walk through guts so that every time, Bruce is always like, thinking he sees his son going nuts. That's the way I would do. Ooh, speaking of going nuts. Absolution. So good. If you're a politician and you have problems with a superhero cop gone vigilante, don't make a deal that allows for the release of the worst, unstoppable, potentially most powerful supervillain ever, because they'll probably realize they're the worst, most powerful, potentially unstoppable supervillain ever, and may not feel they need to honor their agreement. But Christos Gage, who is one of my all-time heroes in comic writing. Just, if you read the first Absolution, it was great. If you didn't read the first Absolution, what the hell? Go buy the trade for the first Absolution, and then pick up this and read it and just love it. Back in the world of the Batman Annual number 2. It features 0 year, but not all of it is 0 year. It flashes back to, there's a character that he first met and didn't realize he met in this area. She's called the Anchoress, and she does more of the remembering of the 0 year than Bruce does. So you get stuff going on now and stuff going on in the 0. So I kept forgetting for a minute, and I'd be like, whoa, I'm like, that character, but how could he have already known all of these characters and oh wait, this isn't part of the 0 year. So you gotta pay more attention than I did. But it's so good. The art, it's no Greg Capullo, but it grew on me and really worked well for what this is. Scott Snyder loves getting inside Batman's head and messing with it, and not like oh, I'm a writer, I got to get inside the head, but like he loves having characters in the villains who get inside Batman's head, and this particular issue a little more literally. Like instead of just playing head games, this one actually has the power to get inside your head. But oh my God, what he does to this guy! The biggest tragedy in Batman's life was not Crime Alley. It was Scott Snyder sitting at a keyboard going, "Hey, I know what I can do." He just tortures that boy. And Joker takes notes, but I wish I could be Scott Snyder. So good though, so worth it. Red Lantern number 22. All right. There were like 20 issues of Red Lanterns that made me go, how the hell does this one not get canceled? But 2 things have happened in the world of Red Lantern. Guy Gardner and Charles Soule. this is one of my favorite books. In fact, I forgot to bring in my previews order to hand to Sean for the store to order my latest pull list, but I've dropped all the Lantern books except this one. I don't care what's going on with Relic and the Green Lantern. I may read them for the reviews, but I don't care. This I'm going to still buy. Charles Soule is awesome. Is quickly moving up the ladder on my list of faves. Plus, yeah, there's a scene. Guy is talking to the little round ball looking
Zox.
yeah, that Zox guy, right? Guy's talking to him and describes him as he's like you're like a testicle with teeth, and Zox is like, what's a testicle? But that's when you have that moment. What else do you need to know? Pleased to meet you. Would have hated to see you back then. You're freaky enough as it is, my man. Like a testicle with teeth. Pleased to meet you. I'm Guy Gardner. Don't know what a testicle is, but likewise, Zillia's Zox. Alright, so that's happened. So read that. Superboy, still under Justin Jordan, though we're not entirely certain for how much longer. Is good, is still not great, and a lot of it, I think this may even be part of why Justin Jordan is leaving this book. I don't know. I can't speak for Justin Jordan. I just make shit up while I review. It's what I do. But it's like I keep saying, it's an improvement from what it was, but it's still someone trying to make the best story they can with a lot of broken story elements. So he's playing a really great game of Candyland, but he's missing half the pieces, possibly including the dice. So he can do stuff, but it's only so much. Plus, worse secret identity than Connor Kent wearing a t-shirt and jeans as Connor Kent is Connor Kent going to school in a Superboy t-shirt. But that's called hiding in plain sight. I kind of love it. They refer to him as Connor Kent in here, and I honestly can't remember. Jared's hiding over there. You can't see him, but Jared's a Superboy fan on a level that rivals even my own. Have you been reading the Superboy stuff?
Behind.
Do you know if and when they established the name Connor Kent for him?
Yeah.
All right, because they call him this, and then Dr. Psycho refers to him and says, "That's you. That's your name. Like that's his." And I don't know if Dr. Psycho just pulled that out of his ass. If Dr. Psycho knows more about all of this than he, knows more about Superman than he's supposed to, or what the story is. But yeah, he's Connor Kent from Kansas, an exchange student in, I don't know, they're in like Manhattan or something. Mark Waid's Daredevil is awesome. If you're not reading this, I don't know what's wrong with you. Read Mark Waid's Daredevil. This issue was so good. They tried to kill a witness in the courtroom, and they only witness to know that the person they're saying did it isn't the one who did it, is Matt Murdock, who's blind, so he makes a lousy eyewitness. We know he's got radar, but he's been spent so long trying to tell everybody I'm not Daredevil that he can't just go to the police and go, "No, I saw it wasn't that guy, it was that guy." So there's this whole Serpent Society, who's also making an appearance in Indestructible Hulk, also written by Mark Waid. Serpent Society, we've got Hulk and Daredevil versus racists, and that's just awesome. Plus, we've got Daredevil versus Hulk versus dinosaurs, and we're getting all kind of time loopy in here. Really, really good stuff. Mark Waid is just there's a lot of my favorite writers in here, and Scott loved it. Roman Dirge's Lenore, brilliant, hysterical, irreverent. Yeah, they've got, right off the bat, you start off with jokes about people sitting on pitchforks and rectal blood on the floor. And then eventually that pitchfork leaves somebody with a splinter, so he's asking, he asks Ragamuffin to remove said splinter. It's everything you read Lenore for. Alright, we got down to the trades. First up, from Boom, we got Freelancers. This collects the series Freelancers, written by Eric Esquivel. It's hysterical. I love this book in the comic format. I bought this trade. This is my trade. And this story is really, it's girls raised in a orphanage that in LA that also, you know, they teach you your values, they raise orphans, and they also teach you hardcore martial arts. And then a couple of them go out and become freelancers, which basically is sweeper. They're problem solvers, fixers for the uber rich who just call in and go, oh, my ex stole my pet, I need you to get it back. This guy's muscling in on my territory, I need you to stop it. Some of their activities, less than legal, but so good, really, really funny, really well drawn. The art in this is by Joshua Covey, really, really good. You've got a collection of all the various covers that it came from. Eric Esquivel, he's awesome. He's done a bunch of other things. I've talked about him before. I'm giving him a good review, even though I gave him a couple of my comics when I met him at MegaCon and asked him for his opinion, and he never got back to me. But I'm professional. I have a show. I must go on. So, yeah, oh, this is awesome. Read this. And speaking of awesome, we'll end on a high. Invincible number 18 from Boom. From Image and Skybound and Robert Kirkman. And you guys have already read all this. This collects through 102, 97 through 102, the Everybody Dies story. I had read a couple issues, or an issue and a half of this when it was on the shelf, just because I needed to know, and hadn't read the rest of it. So good, but you already knew that. It's Invincible. It really is the best superhero comic book going. And it's Invisible. What else do you need to know? All right. Shabam. I am done. I will see you next week, Internet. Ooh, that was weird special effect, or cameraman bumped the stand. You decide. We'll see you next week.